Under the Eight of Cups in reverse, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. So there's a revelation coming here. There is a confession. Somebody has been concealing this. They've kept it very well hidden. Because I think they just didn't really trust it. Since we have the Seven of Wands here, but it's in reverse. So this talks about somebody wanting to let their guard down and looking at the state of things now as being the result of the fact that they didn't let their guard down in the first place because they didn't feel safe. So they're looking at this actually as being, so many songs are coming through in this reading, because now I'm hearing The Softest Place on Earth by Xscape. But they're looking at this as being the safest place on earth. So they're like, if I let this go, this will really be like a loss, and I don't want to take any more losses if I can help it. And they're like, I can help it. That might even be somebody that they say. They might reveal that they look at this as like an opportunity missed, and if they don't pursue this, like, they're really gonna regret it more than they're already regretting where things are at right now. They got the Fool on the bottom of the deck, so somebody's definitely ready to step forward and take a leap of faith, but they're still, you know, the fun thing about the Fool is that he's still standing on the outside thinking like, I just saw 1818, you know, he's thinking like, I want to step forward, I want to go out there, but it's just so fast, you know. Like, there's that moment where it's like, okay, we're gearing up because we know that there's a lot out there that we can't fully account for, you know, on this journey. There's so much that we don't know and we won't find out unless we do it, but that's nerve-wracking, you know, because there's only but so much preparation that you can do when you don't know what exactly you're preparing for. So the Magician that we saw in the last spread feels like kind of spirit nudging this person. Spirit's working very closely with this person and nudging them to be like, you're prepared. You are fully prepared for whatever may come your way in this journey. You're scaring yourself into thinking that you're not, and also because you've never had to step up before in this way. You've never experienced anything like this, so you're thinking like, how can I possibly equip to deal with something I've never been here before. But Spirit's like, you got this. You got this. And the fun thing about the Magician is that he's got enough to get started, and the whole rest of the journey is about further equipping himself through the experiences and the lessons that they have. So it's like, you don't need all the tools and all the answers right now. You were never gonna have that. So the idea that like you were waiting until you got there, it's like, no, you get started now and you will gain more. It's the point of this. You will gain more wisdom, more knowledge. You'll learn how to adapt as things happen. You will fall, you will make mistakes, you will get back up, you know what I mean? Like, there will be some conflict, it can be resolved. Like, it's life, you know? All right. King Cups came out upright and then flipped on the floor in reverse. So we're gonna take it in reverse. Okay, well, I see why. I see what's happening here. Somebody is looking at the fact that they feel as alone as they feel right now as being, it's interesting. I'm getting two things because we got the Five of Swords here. with the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So somebody's definitely looking at the way they withheld their emotions as being a form of self-sabotage. They're looking at that as like the thing they stood in their own way, and that got them in the position that they're in right now, living to regret it and feeling very lonely, very isolated, very withdrawn, to something that they actually felt deeply connected to, but they just didn't allow themselves to fully immerse. We've got the Page of Swords. I was gonna say there could be an apology, but that's not really what I'm getting, because we've got the Queen of Swords in reverse next to this King of Cups in reverse. So with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, so this is either somebody in this person's family or someone they have a family with. You know what's really interesting? I think this is someone's mother, because this came out in Aqua's reading. So if this is resonating for you in your situation, either you're the person that we're talking about or you're connected to this person that we're talking about currently, make sure you watch Aqua's reading, whether you have any Aqua placements at all or not. Please watch that reading, because the Queen of Cups came out in reverse, and then the Page of Cups came out in reverse next to it. So it was really talking about the way this person, the Queen of Cups in reverse, is like an older, emotionally immature person, and the way that they've influenced their child and stunted them. So now they're a younger version of them in that regard. And now we're looking at the King of Cups in reverse. Would you look at that? I'm just really drawn to the Queen of Swords in reverse and the Page of Swords. I feel like there's something about this Queen of Swords that has really like bred fear into this person and skepticism. Because look how skittish they look in the Page of Swords right here. I do think that this person is really perceptive. They know how to read a room. But I think they've had to be the Page of Swords is really good at collecting data. Again, it's like scanning a room. This feels like kind of like hypervigilance, or when you're really good at like reading body language, or when somebody's expression like falters a little bit. This person might even like read too much into what people are saying because they're trying to find some like an underlying meaning, but that's because they're used to this Queen of Swords in reverse that plays like mind games. They know how to get in your head, but they're not like straightforward. Upright, the Queen of Swords is a sharpshooter. There's something about the Queen of Swords in reverse where she can be very petty, very vindictive, very spiteful, but it's the way that she goes about doing it. It feels, ooh, this person could be a covert narcissist, because I'm just hearing the word covert right now. But it's like dealing with someone like that, that's a lot of why this person has learned to kind of like shut down emotionally. It's been a protective mechanism. But I think they also, again, were lacking that immaturity emotionally and not really knowing what to do with their feelings and not really trusting them, because this person has put a lot of like mistrust into this Page of Swords. And this person doesn't trust themselves, and it really is because ultimately they don't trust this person. A person like that would quite literally shut down on this King of Cups. Like if this is a mother, they could just straight up stop talking to them you know, or just start ignoring them. No, it's like weird. Okay. We're both the King of Pentacles in reverse. This is somebody that is very focused on their money. They could have been kind of materialistic, and they could be looking at that as part of why they missed an opportunity here and why they were afraid to let their guard down. They could have felt like they had to protect their assets. That could have been something that this person told them that they needed to do here. This person could have said something to them about needing to protect their assets from their person of interest, or imply that their person of interest would only be interested in being involved with them. That bird chirping, I'm taking as confirmation. Only be interested in being involved with them for what they could get from them. And so that caused this person to be on the defense because it got in their head, it worked. They have the Six of Swords coming out under the Five of Cups in reverse. There's a lot that this person, a lot of like mental turmoil and chaos that this Queen of Swords has stirred up within them, because they just have a long history, I think, of doing that to this person. So there's a lot for them to heal from mentally, because when these fears come up and these thoughts get a hold of them, it creates negative emotions and it causes them to lock up into themselves. Because again, it's like they don't feel safe, and then they turn into the Page of Swords, which is they're more in their head than they are in their heart, and they're looking at everything as being a threat. So it's like, now I gotta be smart in this situation because I gotta be 10 steps ahead. But that's because they, growing up, got used to trying to be 10 steps ahead of this Queen of Swords. I'm gonna say to no avail. That could be a battle that they just never really conquered. You know, the Queen of Swords is very smart, regardless of whether they're upright or in the reverse. In the reverse, they're just using their intelligence to manipulate, fearmonger. That's how they've kept this person stuck, or kept this person close to them. This person has never really gone too far from them. The Three of Pentacles here, but I want to clarify it. Ooh, I accidentally knocked my Oracle deck, and Rise to the Occasion was at the bottom. Capability, strength, authenticity, and free will. I'll read that again. There's that Page of Cups in reverse. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. There's something about this person's fear that keeps them small. Because it keeps them stuck and it makes them act impulsively, but also it causes them to never really stick around in places for very long. This could be a person that gets bored easily. Maybe that's the kind of like, that's where they've committed themselves in the past, in relationships that really didn't have very much growth opportunity. Like neither them or the other person were going to encourage very much growth in each other, because they were probably dating people that were mirroring that being stuck to them. So it's like, this person's stuck, you're stuck, y'all get together, now you're stuck together. Does that make sense? Like neither person is really encouraging the other or like uplifting the other. They're kind of just like chilling here and stagnating. So this feels like a non-committal energy as well. So this person is committed, but they're not committed. Again, it's because they're emotionally immature. They were immature, and it created emotional instability. And so whenever that would come up, Nine of Pentacles in reverse can also be somebody that just doesn't understand the value of like hard work. They don't understand the value of investing in something and working slowly, taking your time, and really being smart about where you choose to invest, whether that is talking about a relationship or just financially, or even in their own ideas. This could be a person who like starts things and then just kind of like abandons them. So this could be ideas that they've had in the past, projects, jobs, like things in their life just never really got very far. And then Nine of Wands in reverse. I feel like this caused a lot of problems for this person, financially being one of them. But again, it's like there's that being stuck, because at least when the Nine of Wands is upright, it's like, yes, you are wounded, but you're licking your wounds, and soon we will be at the 10, and then this will be over. You know, we'll figure out a way to restructure certain things so that we're not burdened anymore, or something will end and something will just naturally fall off of our plate, and we'll be able to get our time and energy back. But this Nine of Wands in reverse feels like this person stuck is just the word that keeps coming to mind. But it's like they were stuck in a loop. And they would always get back to this point of feeling wounded, but it's because they were dealing with people that were just like triggering that wounding, but they weren't seeing that as like a learning opportunity, which is interesting because we've got the World on the bottom of the deck. So there were lessons and cycles that this person was going through, but they weren't learning. So then this is like, well, you ended that cycle with this person because you just straight up abandoned it, but you're gonna walk yourself right into that same cycle with another person. Or, you know, it's like with a job. It's like, oh, because you just up and left that job, but now you didn't learn from what happened there. No healing took place. There's no awareness or wisdom that was gained. So now you're gonna go to another job and we're gonna do that whole thing all over again. So this person is living in a loop, and I think that's also why their life is just feeling so stuck and monotonous and just all the same. They could have been realizing that that was because they weren't making different choices. They were functioning like the way that they knew how to, and the way that they were taught, and the way that used to work for them when they were younger. But it's like now they're growing up and they're realizing that this doesn't cut it anymore. You know, it's time to let this go because this is outdated. It's expired. All right. Let's we're gonna pull some more cards. Let's take off Rise the Occasion, and then let's see what else supposed to come out. Something came out earlier. Well, it didn't come out, but I saw it earlier when I was shuffling this deck to get it ready for this reading. I think it was Treasures in the Deep and Dark, and it was in reverse. So I gotta remember that so I can read that. Matter of fact, I had this card flipped over like this, right? I'm like, oh, okay, what card was it? Treasures Deep and Dark. Cool. Okay, well, now it's upright, so that's good. Shadow work, healing old wounds. Okay, I'm gonna read both the upright meaning and the reversal. Something about that just revived me. It just like gave me all my energy back. So I think this person's they're feeling really depleted. Yeah, that Knight of Wands in reverse. They're feeling really drained of everything. Like however they were living just sucked them dry of everything. And it's like, as scary as this healing is, it's slowly but surely reviving them, whether they realize it or not. I think they do though, because it's giving like, we started out the reading with the Knight of Wands being reversed and we ended it with it being upright. So it's like somebody's getting their mojo back. But I think it's because they're coming to understand their mojo in a different way. I think they're coming to understand how to use that Knight of Wands energy in a different way than they were using it before. Okay. So let's see. Treasures in the Deep and Dark. Wow. Key concepts. Shadow work, healing old wounds, experiencing relationships at a deeper level. Yeah, they're ready for this now, or they're getting ready for whatever it is that they're seeking now. They weren't ready for it before, and they weren't even like seeking it before. It's actually like the seeking of it came with the healing. Because again, I think they just never really saw that for themselves. But it's like they've been, I think, uncovering some desires, some dreams from their childhood. Now that they've been connected to the heart space, they probably haven't been connected to the heart space since they were a child. So this desire is now it's coming up to the surface. Sometimes you can play in shallow waters and discover something valuable, but now is not one of those times. To find the real treasure you seek, you need to dive deep down and face the shadowy places in you that were long forgotten and denied. Something reflected in your life now echoes your past. Be brave, for this is a call to healing. Know that I have to take a minute, because can I just say, I think this person has really been struggling with this, and I think it's like when babies learn how to walk. You know, like first they're crawling and then they like stand up, but then they fall because they can't like sustain their weight. They've never stood up before. And then slowly that turns into like, oh, they can take a couple steps forward. And then next thing you know, they are full on sprinting, right? There's something about this person learning how to walk spiritually. Because getting through those two spreads, I don't even normally do two different spreads in these readings, but getting through those two different spreads was not easy. I felt like I was in the dark with no flashlight trying to do that. So pulling these oracle cards and seeing it resonate and being like, okay, we were doing all right there. It's like, I think that's where this person is getting. It's like it was real touch and go there for a minute for them, because they just couldn't see the way forward, because they were just like, I've never been down here before. Like somebody is in their high priestess era. No, because it really isn't a high priestess era. Like you just step into that, and once you do, you'll never see the value in ignoring your intuition after that. Once you realize like how much your intuition is a lifesaver. It's there to help you, and you gain nothing by burying your head in the sand and acting like you don't know what's going on. So know that, something reflected in your life now echoes your past. Be brave, for this is a call to healing. Know that those wounds don't define you. The past doesn't dictate your future. When you dive into the depths of your psyche and accept this, there is no need to deny any part of yourself again. Learn, love, and accept every aspect of you. When you can be compassionate and forgiving to yourself, you will experience so much more beauty and joy. Open yourself to receive and make space for more abundance in all areas of your life. You will see evidence of your success soon. Remember that intimacy is not found on the surface. Don't be afraid to dive deep into your conversations with others. You will be glad you went there. And that, my friends, is exactly why this conversation is on its way in. Because this person is getting more in depth with themselves, and now they can get more in depth with other people, but also the more in depth they get with themselves, the more they're looking at surface level relationships like, what the hell I'm gonna do with this? You know, they just don't see any value there. It's like, what do we talk about? Why are we talking about that? Why is that important? Why do we care? You know? There's things that they're discovering and they want to talk about them, and they don't have people around them to do that with. And so they're isolating and just kind of like talking it out with themselves. But that's getting to a point where they're like, I want to have this conversation. Let's look at the reverse meaning, because that's what I saw in the deck, but I'm so glad that it came out upright, because that's a good omen. You know, somebody's on the right track. So in reverse, it says, right now, no matter what your inquiry, it's time for a look in the mirror and a personal inventory. It's easy to be triggered right now and feel like you've gone back in time with a reopened wound. I'm so surprised that this card didn't come out in Aqua's reading. Please go watch Aqua's reading. Anyway, it's actually going to be uploaded after this one. So yeah, go watch it. It's easy to be triggered right now and feel like you've gone back in time with a reopened wound. It's important to be aware and avoid defensiveness, judgment, or blame. You always have a part to play in this theater of life. Perhaps you're challenged because someone is projecting their unhappiness onto you. I think that's what's happening in their family. Like Queen of Swords in reverse can be somebody very bitter and miserable about where their life is at, and not taking responsibility for the fact that their life is there because they got it there. So they're making it this person's problem, and this person's is like, this is not my problem. But I'm also not gonna follow in your footsteps and become like you and be old and bitter and mad that there's all these different things that I didn't do with my life when I had the chance. And whoever this person is, like if it's a mother or whatever, they still have the chance, but they're stuck, they're caged in, and they're gonna stay that way. In Virgo's reading that I did, I brought up I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I think that's definitely relevant here. Go look that up. Perhaps you are the one projecting judgment outward into the world, or refusing to accept the truth of a situation. Whichever position you hold, have a sense of humor and let it go. Everything will come back to a manageable right size, and soon you won't even remember what all the fuss was about. Life is just messy some days. Yeah. That is so funny though. That I really had this card flipped over like this, didn't know what it was, and I'm like, oh my god, wait, let's make sure we account for treasure in the deep and dark, and that's what it was. See, all right. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Dream of Co-Creation. I fucking love this card. This is manifestation, divine partnership, frequency alignment. Hello. This person going in depth with themselves is putting them in frequential alignment with what it is that they're trying to manifest, okay? That was the missing piece all along. You know, they were in a state of being like, I'm not good enough, I don't measure up, I'm not worthy, you know? And they were like, but what is it that's making me feel like I don't measure up? Why do I feel like I'm not worthy? Are these things that I can work on? Can I change these things? Like what are these qualities that are making me feel like that? So somebody's working hard. All right, let's see. All right, in the midst of the radiant fire, inspiration, passion, obsession, and cleansing fire. All right, so optimism, pure joy, brilliant ideas, creativity, all-consuming obsession, addiction, burnout, cleansing fire. Inspiration is one of the most profound gifts from your higher power you will ever receive. It's like being handed a magic acorn containing the blueprint for an extraordinary oak tree of meaning, adventure, transformation, and fulfillment. Your only job is to accept it, plant it, and tend to it in your field of dreams. Trust in the divine fire that burns in your heart and pay attention to the prompts from Source. That still small voice will tell you the next step on the path of your best life. Once you commit, things come together to help make it happen, regardless of any specific action on your part. This brilliant idea, this creative impulse, this joyful moment is a gift. So many people ignore it, thinking it will be too much work or that someone else is better suited for the task, but not you. Let this inspiration light your inner fire and keep tending to the flame. Feel the passion and optimism. Know that you were chosen for this unique path. Yep, this is something that this person's soul chose to do. And that's why the way they've been living their life thus far, like, it was always meant for that to go down the way it did and for this person to reroute themselves. So they don't need to look back on their past as anything that they did wrong or needing to be regretful over or feeling any sense of loss. Grieving is a natural part of the process. I'm not going to say you shouldn't grieve because that's just how life works. But there is an entire world waiting for this person. There's an entire world waiting to accept this person with open arms. They have a lot of ideas. It feels like somebody's sacral and root chakra are just like burning right now. Obsession is interesting. We never pulled the devil card at any point, so that was interesting. But this person could be becoming obsessive, like, with the information that they're finding out and processing. If they're getting any sort of like intuitive downloads, or there's a specific way that spirit is starting to communicate with them, they could be getting obsessive about that. They could be feeling obsessed with the idea of healing to put themselves in alignment with what it is, who it is that they're trying to manifest. There could be a level of respect that they're gaining for this person that they didn't have before. All right, and then rise to the occasion. This happened in Aqua's reading too, but I went to look for another card and accidentally flipped to another chance to be, and that just happened just now. So go watch Aqua's reading. Because Aqua's reading, we were talking about Aquas, and then it just got to a point where whoever they were attached to, as Spirit described it, just completely took over that reading. And I'm getting similar themes here. Like, this feels like the same story. Just like another, we're just looking at it from like another angle. All right, rise to the occasion. Capability, strength, go the distance, authenticity, surprising yourself, successful risk-taking, refusing the call, and free will. You are faced with a situation that requires you to step into your authentic power and rise to the occasion. You might have wanted this, but you hadn't yet had the opportunity to stretch into this new version of yourself. The good news is that not only are you capable, of what's required of you, but also you've become even more than you know because of all the inner work that you've done. Let's really like clap it up for this person. Round of applause. Within you is a bright divine light, and it's no longer obscured by your internal obstacles. You are meant to shine. Aqua's reading did start making me a little bit emotional, and this is doing the same thing. You know what's interesting? In Aqua's reading, because it was Aqua's reading, the part that was making me tear up for them was the success that they were seeing, and it seemed like somebody else was like somebody else attached to them was in their own process, but they weren't at the point of being successful in the same way that Aqua was going to be from the work that they had done. But now I'm looking at this, and this is like it feels like the other person that they were dealing with, like their champion story. I don't know. This is the time to choose to step up, take the risk, and go the distance. Spread your wings, knowing it is your destiny and you cannot fail. Surprise yourself, let go of all your fears, take this risk, and trust the divine winds to keep you aloft. Oh my God. Adventure awaits was the end of that card. Okay. Beautiful, really. I mean, I don't actually think that there's anything else that I can add to that personally. I mean, in short, somebody's definitely overcoming a lot of stuff that they've been up against their entire life. But they are rising to the occasion. And life is going to look a lot different. I think whoever they're moving towards is like the first step towards their new life. So very big stuff happening. Again, this reading was very touch and go there for a minute. I didn't really know where things were going. I think that's just how this person has been feeling though. But yeah, normally I could say a little bit more about what the Oracle cards had to say, but I don't feel like there is anything else to say. Whoever they're moving towards, they're gonna say everything that needs to be said. But I also think that there's a lot that this person is just feeling and they're knowing, but they can't quite like fully put it into words just yet. And that's also probably what's taken them so long to be able to come forward and even have this conversation. It was like, they're like, whoa, I don't even know what I was gonna say. Like, I didn't know how to say what I wanted to say or how I was feeling. They didn't even fully understand how they were feeling. It's just, there's a lot more that they've uncovered. And so there's a lot more, again, there's a lot more, you know, they say people can only meet you as deeply as they met themselves, and this person's meeting themselves deeper and deeper by the day. And so every day they're closer and closer to being able to have a real serious, like, in-depth, full conversation about, I guess, whatever happened in their life, whatever happened in that connection specifically, and really what they want moving forward and how they're feeling currently. So that is all, my friends. Happy 11/11. My personal readings are open if you're interested in getting any more in depth, or there's anything that you want to know about specifically. You can find more information about that in the community tab of this channel. Any further questions that you have, you're going to email eternalserenitytarot@gmail.com. If this resonated, please like the video. The more that you like and subscribe, the more that you like the videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel. But the more you like and engage with these videos, the more that we are exchanging energy, and that's going to bring messages that are more specific for your situation, because then you become part of my collective. So with that being said, make sure you turn on my post notifications so that you know every time we're having a nice little chit chat, which is just me talking at you guys. But if y'all are real, you're talking back, okay? But that is all, my friends. Happy 11/11. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.